I'm thinking about this, and I'm going to just throw another kind of example at you. That so I'm a business owner. I've got a $10 million, a $7 million business. I'm taking my salary. I'm living off my salary because it's an S corporation. I have to take a salary, and so my salary is $300,000. So if I've got that $1 million of growth in the AAA account, I'm paying taxes on all that, and typically what I'm doing is, I'm bonusing myself the taxes so that I'm not having to write a check out of my personal stuff. And now the Popeye plan really starts to make sense because that there's a lot more to play with there that could be invested outside of the business.
Absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
All of that makes sense. Let's talk about the transition and typically what happens here. So if I'm the elder statesman and you're the younger statesman, or you're the next generation here, typically what happens is once we start this, you realize that, hey, I'm going to own a business. I don't have to pay anything for it. And there is, whether you like to believe it or not, most business owners that have been at this for a long time, unless you're just really on top of everything that's going on, you're making your business sclerotic just because of the fact that you're stuck in this is the way we do it stuff. And so you tend to be an impediment in terms of recognizing the next generation of change that's going to impact your business. And the next generation of people are usually more attuned to that. So typically what happens is I bring you into the business and now you're running hard and it's growing and I'm comfortable with this. And so I start to step back. So after a year or two, even though I'm still being redeemed out, okay, I'm kind of out of the deal. And so my salary now typically goes to something like a consulting arrangement and maybe a benefit type thing. So I'm getting a company car or maybe some healthcare if I'm not yet to the point where if I'm in my early 60s, I'm not yet reached Medicare, that kind of stuff. So I'm getting a transition salary and then a redemption for the value of my stuff. But I'm leaving enough cash in here that the next generation person that's running now has an opportunity to actually see some benefit for all the work that they're doing. Okay, so there's all of that behind the scenes things in terms of employment agreements and security arrangements and all of this other kind of mess. The bank isn't involved in this, but the bank is involved from the standpoint that there's usually some level of personal guarantee that if you're financing equipment and that kind of stuff. And so, it's easy for the business to pay the transitioning shareholder some security agreement income or something for the fact that even though they're really stepping back and the young generation is running the business, they're still the owners of it. I don't want to suck all the capital out of it because it needs to be able to grow. But if I'm now assuming the capital the capital function by the amount of money that I'm leaving in for cash flow purposes or whatever it is, I can get paid a premium for keeping that money there. So there's lots of ways to get the client some level of normal income that looks a lot like the income they were taking before. So I can use the net after tax stuff for the purposes of redemption. Again, a whole nother level of discussion that needs to typically occur.
Yeah. And thus why you need to build a team and you need to have somebody that really gets this